Welcome guys to another video. I want to talk about RFK being censored by ABC. Well, if you're not aware, if you're not aware that RFK did an interview with ABC, right? He was talking about the shots, and before he finished his interview, right? He did his interview, but before he finished the interview, they cut him off. Then they put this reporter on explaining that what he said is very false without giving him a chance to explain himself, right? What's the point of having an interview if you can edit the interview in the beginning? What's the point of having your guest on your show if you can edit all his words? Now, this to show you that I've been telling people you do not focus on or depend on these mainstream medias, right? You do not focus on ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox News. Those are mainstream media. They have an agenda. They're bought and paid for media, right? I've been trying to promote people. If you want the news, go to independent journalism, all right? The small journalists, they'll most likely provide you with the news, with the accurate news, because they're not bought out by this big corporation. Most of these independent journalists are funded by you, the people, right? I don't care who you follow, who you listen to, as long as you don't listen to this mainstream media, this corporate news. Corporate news are in it for themselves. They're not in it for your benefit. They want you to be asleep. They don't want you to think for yourself, right? This news report, if you know what I'm talking about, right? This ABC report on ABC interview with RFK, right? This woman, I think she's African American descent or whatever she is. I don't know, I forgot what her name, but they cut off the report and jump to her explaining that what he said is false and all this stuff. Wait a minute. How are you going to tell me what he said is false? Why don't you let me watch the full interview and determine for myself? The point is, these news corporation does not want you to think for yourself. There's certain information out there they're holding back, right? They don't benefit you. They're not there to look out for your interests. You should support the small journalists. They're most likely to provide you more accurate. Sure, some of them might be skewed a little bit, but don't just focus on one journalism. Focus on multiple journalism, right? From different spectrum, different broad of ideas, right? Because you don't want to put all your egg in one basket. So look at the independent journalism in journalists, but yet have multiple independent journalists, and you compare the report to see do they correlate with each other. You know, but those journalists are better than these corporate media journalists. They're not looking out for you. They're looking out. The only interest they're looking out for is their corporate sponsor. The I don't want to say it. The pharmaceutical industry, the companies, right? The corporations, the Coca-Colas, the food industries, right? They're only looking out for those interests, those sponsors. They paid their ads, right? They don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. The hands that feeds them are these ads, these companies. These are very rudimentary things. These very fundamental things, right? What I'm telling you. If you don't understand what I'm saying right now, you are already lost. You are lost in the system. Unfortunately, people are still watching these TV shows. They haven't transitioned to the internet yet. And these TV shows, these TV programs, they're very archaic. They're, what I'm trying to look for? They're antiquated. They're antiquated media. Right? They're very old. Young kids don't watch these things. We don't watch TV. Right? If you know, although we watch TV, we watch it for streaming things. We don't watch broadcast television. Broadcast television is dead in my book, in my view. Right? I don't have a TV anymore. I have a computer screen, but the computer screen is more controllable than what they present you in cable services. Cable services provide with these channels, and that's it. You can't get any other channels, and it has to be approved by the cable company. While the internet, you can go any independent journalist, any channels that you want to go to, right? TV, broadcast television is very antiquated. So there's no excuse to rely on this, not unless you're a boomer. No disrespect to boomers, right? But you need to transition yourself out of it. You know, you need to learn how to work a computer. But the following generation, there's no incentive for them to watch broadcast television anymore, right? Start out from the millennials, Generation Z, Generation Alpha, and yada yada yada, on and so forth. There's no incentive for them to watch broadcast television anymore. These are very old media. Now they're branching out to new media. Why do you think publication died? Right? Newspaper died. Newsstand. When was the last time you see a newsstand besides at a Barnes and Nobles? Right? I remember the day there used to be independent newsstands, right? Independently owned newsstands where they sell all the magazine racks, right? Where are they now? You can't find them anywhere because people don't read those publications anymore. You need to transition yourself to a different kind of system. And these news channel is a monopoly, big time. Who knows? These news channels, right, are really in cahoots with each other because they're affiliated with the Associated Press, and they're scripted. These anchors are scripted. Do not trust these broadcast news stations. Do not trust Newsmax, OAN. I mean, they're bought up, but they're centralized. You want to trust independent journalists. Those are the new way to learn things. But back to the point, how ABC censored RFK. That's really messed up big time. Now, when they have to go to that point, the people have to question themselves. What are they trying to hide? Right? It does not benefit the people if the news corporation are hiding information. They're going against you. They're going against your narrative. They're going against the narrative. They're going against what you should know. When they edit and chop off all these clips, you should know this. That's why I don't edit none of my videos. I'm showing all my flaws, right? You don't see me editing none of this stuff. I stuttered, I mumbled. I speak my mind. Sometimes I fall on my words, don't know what to say. But you know what? It's better off than just to edit all this stuff out. It's being authentic with you guys. You don't see this news broadcasting being authentic with themselves. They have all these heavy makeup, lighting, effects on them. They're not true to themselves. They're not true to the reports. They're fake. Hence fake news. So how do you know what's real and what's fake? These cable networks is totally up against you. They're not providing inaccurate sources of information. They're providing distraction as well. There's some story they're willing to report, some story that they aren't willing to report. And the story that's very important, they shy away from it. So it comes back to my point that these network television shows, news shows, are really against the people. They're not serving you. Like the old phrase said, the revolution will not be televised, right? Because they don't want to televise these stuff. Not only that, if the revolution happened, the network television will be the first to go. Because how can you... Because in order to have a revolution, successful revolution, you cannot broadcast your strategy on network television. Right? How can you broadcast your strategy on network television, allowing your enemy to see what you're doing every day? You can't do that. So if there's a revolution were to happen, these network television will be the first to go. Because they can't provide information to the authority of what people are doing. Right? But jumping back to the point is, this news TV show, they don't have your best interest. Don't stop watching them. Watch independent journalists. Follow a couple of them, and follow which one you like. Don't follow what other people like. Follow what you think in your heart is telling you an accurate depiction of the news, and go with them. On that note, guys, Thanks for watching, and I'll check you back on another episode. Peace.